Guys, I have Hansi Flick's game plan for the game against Borussia Dortmund, and I'm going to previewing everything. I will reveal everything and how not having Dani Olmo is not the worst thing in the world. And I will tell you in this video all the things that are going to be happening in tomorrow's game. So let's get into it. So before I dive into my tactical analysis of this video, I want to show you guys a quick rundown of how is what's going on. So this game will be played tomorrow at 12 p.m. LA time. I think it's at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. Time in Barcelona, and will be played at the Stadi Olympic Luis Campes Montjuic. And this game, guys, we are going to be playing at home. So what FootMob is giving us is 77% chance, 6% is a draw, and 16% for Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund is not going to be an easy team. One of the UCL top scorers, Girassi. So right now it's Rafinha, and Girassi is number 2, and Lewandowski is number 3, and I think Mbappe is number 4. So this Borussia Dortmund team is actually pretty good, guys. The one thing I do want to mention before we get into the tactical analysis is that in the very first game, in the game we played that was 3-2, what I did notice that Barcelona in the last 15 minutes of the match played a lot better than they did throughout the whole 75 minutes. And it was in part due to two changes that Hansi Flick made. It was actually three changes. The very first one was Fermin Lopez came in for Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo had a very good game. He actually had an assist that he gave to Rafinha on that first goal. But Fermin Lopez was electric, and the Borussia Dortmund could not stop Fermin Lopez. So this is one nugget here that I want for you, that I want you guys to take home is, even though we don't have Dani Olmo, we have a good Fermin Lopez who played extremely well. I'm fully expecting Hansi Flick to notice this and to play Fermin Lopez to start off this game tomorrow, because he was very electric. He had well, I don't know if that counts as an assist, but he had a big shot. The goal, and we're gonna go over everything, but he had a big shot in that game, and the goalkeeper gave a rebound, and that's how Ferran Torres was able to score that second goal. Another thing is, I don't think we will start Lewandowski. We should never start Lewandowski for a game like this. He did not look sharp in this game. We're talking about that game where we played Borussia Dortmund last. So Lewandowski plays right into the hands of what Borussia Dortmund does really well, and I don't think that he should start this. That was a mistake. As soon as Ferran Torres was in that game, it was a game changer. So we need to start off with whatever team that ended that game needs to start this game, and that was Frankie de Jong and Pedri. That double pivot started working since that very moment. Okay, guys, so we're ready for the tactical analysis here. So the very first thing that I want you guys to notice is how the fullbacks were, gave us so much trouble in the very first game that we played. That we played him during the regular season, of course. So both Kunde and Balde had big time trouble with them, and those crosses they're going to feed. They're going to feed their forward, Girassi, like a monster. So all these guys right now, whether it's Gitten, whether it's Sabastier or other fullbacks, they all work as a one, as a whole, and that is to feed their monster. Okay, I want you guys to take that home with you guys and to think. And Hansi Flick is going to have to stop Girassi. The one thing that I do think that Hansi Flick could have done was put in Araujo as kind of a body on body type of thing, because Araujo is a big body against Girassi, who's a big body. I do think that's a good matchup. The problem is, and we're gonna get into the lineup for Barcelona. The problem with Barcelona is that they like to do a lot of progression passes to the middle of the field, and they like to do a lot of lateral passes, and that's the same thing that with Kubarsi that I'm doing with Inigo Martinez is you are going to see them do a lot of progressions And that's how the build up for Barcelona kind of starts in every single build up play. And Barcelona relies a lot in the build up play with Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez, as I've said before. So that is the only issue that I have, not starting Araujo in this game. Otherwise, Araujo would be my number one. Please start Araujo over Kubarsi, because I think Inigo Martinez, what he brings to the table is just so valuable. He does so many progressions, almost as many progressions as Pedri Gonzalez does, which is insane. And I would start, I would think about starting, Araujo over Kubarsi, just because of that monster that's going to be fed throughout the whole game, and we're about to see that in fruition. But nonetheless, because of the build-up play and because Barcelona is been yelling and it's been just playing so well together, that I would not move the starting 11. And the one thing that's going to be different from this lineup, I believe, if Hansi Flick does what he needs to do for this game, and it's Lewandowski, Ferran Torres over Lewandowski, and of course the fourth move would be Fermin Lopez over Dani Olmo. Other than that, we are good to go. And let's start this analysis. And you guys are about to see right now how Barcelona would find a lot of spots in this game from the very first moment, the 13th minute, where Rafinha should have had this goal. But what I do want to point out is, Borussia Dortmund is not a low block team, so they're gonna come out and attack you. And Barcelona can do plenty different ways to attack Borussia Dortmund. They're gonna go down the right wing with, of course, our best player, Lamine Yamal, who is going to take a cross. And Rafinha, this is how, let's take a look at their footing. Right now they're not good defensively, because they only have one and two, and then three is down over here on the right. There's no support. The right back is in no man's land right now. There's all this space that there's all this space that Lamine Yamal can potentially exploit, and he's going to take this cross, and Rafinha is going to just miss basically a sitter. This is not an easy shot because of the way that Lamine Yamal made this cross. You're gonna need a lot of technique to be able to make to connect the right way. But come on, Rafinha, it was it was wide open. At least get it on target and see if the keeper can stop you. And unfortunately, we're not able to do that. So this is one play that I want to show you guys as well. Is these guys they're very good. They're very good on the ball. They're a little bit like who I would say I would compare this, but they're very good. I would say more probably like Atletico. Like, they're very good on the ball. They know how to play with their wingers, and what they're gonna want to do here is they're gonna want to take a big cross down the right wing. And what I want to point out, see, Balde already looked to the left, because he already knows he's got a player here, so he's gonna do a good job at staying on his man. The only problem with Balde is he's just gonna like wait and wait and wait and wait, and I'm not sure if this is something that Hansi Flick has coached the team and has asked the team to do. But I've noticed the same thing that Balde's doing on this play. It's the same thing he did on that Mbappe goal again in El Clásico, right? And then he just keeps staying back, staying back, staying back. And what they're gonna want to do against Balde is, because they know he's gonna retrieve, they're going to cut inside or outside and basically gain space. And that's exactly what he's gonna do on this play. You see that? He's already gone. Like, that's the thing with when you're retrieving, and you're retrieving instead of closing up the gap, you're letting them dictate the tempo and dictate what they want to do. And what they want to do is, of course, they want to do the cross. Barcelona could not defend this. We were lucky not to get a goal on this play. I think Balde it's going to have his handful with these wingers, with these left backs, right backs, whether that's Balde, whether that's Kunde. That is going to be something that we need to be concentrated. We cannot allow them to basically do what they just did here, which is, counter in transition. And Balde, instead of just retrieving, you need to be going head on to the player, even if at times it may mean making a foul on that play. So this is where Olmo is very, very, very valuable, very good. Um, Not only he gets a recovery here, but he's so good on the ball. He's so technical, and this is something that Fermin Lopez is gonna want to do, and what he needs to do, and what he can do. So basically, what we're gonna hit him is with the counter. You see how we have one, two, three, four. This is essentially a 3-on-3, or if you want to be ambitious, you can say this is a 4-on-3, because we have another player, which is Pedri Gonzalez here down the left. And Olmo finds this is Olmo at his best, because he has two options, right? He can either find Lamine, or he can find Rafinha, and he's gonna do the latter, because Rafinha is the player who can be more vertical. This Lamine Jamal would have been more like if you want to do a counter, and maybe hopefully you want to do a cross. But if you want to be more direct, this is why I love me some Dani Olmo so much, because the easier thing to do would have been just give it to Lamine, and Lamine can give it to Rafinha. But he goes direct, finishes perfectly. So this is another play where we really need to be focused, especially in the Champions League. I don't know how many of you will remember this, but this is the play where Kubarsi just pushed Girassi. Right? It was a penalty kick, but it's not. It shouldn't be given to me. Like, this is a small push that Girassi, he's really experienced player. So if he feels the contact, he's just going to just go to the floor, and essentially that's leave it up to the ref. And the ref said, that's a push off. And as we can see here, you cannot do that. You cannot just, like, if you're gonna defend, you're gonna defend. But if you're gonna push the player, especially inside the box, you're gonna get punished. Very important here. So at the 70th minute, Ferran Torres, Fermin, and Frankie de Jong came in. So this is one of the things that Hansi Flick will do to your team, to your squad. How many coaches in that situation, a 1-1 at the 70th minute, will sub in three players and take out three players? So that's big balls for Hansi Flick. This is why I love. This is why he's my coach, and this is why I'm with him any day of the week, man. Like, in Flick we trust. This is going to be the second goal for Barcelona, and what we're gonna see big time here is how the link up play between the one and only Kunde and of course Lamine Yamal. They're gonna be very crucial to this play, and what they always do is they know how they play with each other with their eyes closed. As you can see, there's literally no spacing. As Dortmund thinks they have this play very, very well defended, but what they don't know is these guys, they know each other like crazy, and that's just shark. Ferran Torres, as always, guys. So that is the thing that we need to see against Borussia Dortmund. Again, we need to find these transition plays. We need to find these diagonal crosses. We need to find Kunde, Lamine. This very important them to be, finding each other in those give and go situations, and how we can break these lines, because you better be sure there will be some lines that we're gonna need to break. So once again, guys, feeding the monster. So one of the things that I would look into is having Araujo come in maybe at the 65, 70th minute to just cover the monster, to stop him, because that's one of the things that they're gonna do is they're gonna try to throw a lot of long crosses, a lot of long balls to Girassi, and we're gonna need a big body. So whether that means subbing Frankie de Jong at the 70th minute and bringing in Araujo and playing with five backs essentially, I don't care, but I do think Araujo needs to see the field in this game in the second half, because look, these guys, they're fast. And what do? They're very clear. They want to gain space to do what? To do crosses, because they have a monster that can, score on every single play. And you see, we were very lucky here not to concede this goal once again. Had he done a better job, or maybe that ball isn't so hard that he can header this, that's a goal, guys. So this is a play where, Inigo Martinez really shouldn't be doing this. He basically just tries to miraculously get the ball to Pedri Gonzalez on this play, and you cannot do that. I think that's actually Fermin Lopez, and you can just control the ball and again make the easy pass, make the easy play. Concentration in this game is going to be really the key to winning this game, because what they're going to do, they're going to break this high line right now and to its core, and it's not great because you can see, like, okay, so this is very very smart from them because they know Barcelona is going to be wanting to play the high line, and what they always know, all the teams know that Barcelona will struggle, but Barcelona used to since this game has made adjustments, and we can play so much better now. But these through balls were a problem in the beginning of the season, and this is why we were conceding so many goals. Now we are kind of perfecting this to the point to where teams are attacking us like that. But in this instance, Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez and Kunde are doing a very good job of staying and leaving this Girassi and this other player that I forget his name to leaving them offside. But this guy that I've circled is coming in, and it's going to just be wide open on this play. So that's the thing, and they break the line, and now it's a brand new play. So now give it to Girassi, and like I said, feeding that monster so that Barcelona gets caught with their pants down, and that's a goal. One thing we need to do is force them into mistakes. And Borussia Dortmund is going to make a mistake on this play. And honestly, what he wants to do, he wants to pass it back to his teammate. But Pedri Gonzalez, as we can see him right here, he's going to read that, and he's going to get this ball intercepted. And as we can see here, he does a thing where he's gonna control the ball. That way, it gives Ferran Torres the extra second to beat his mark and to just basically be all by himself. And even though Ferran Torres doesn't do as good of a job here, because in reality, if you control this ball, what you should be doing is you should be passing it to Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez should have been the one who's scored an amazing goal. And honestly, yeah, that's the thing that Ferran Torres will bring is he just knows, he's patient. He can score in so many different ways. He can make so many different runs. And like I said, if he would have controlled this ball, I'm 100% sure he would have made the right play, which is pass it to Fermin Lopez. So in this play, this is another play where we need to have Araujo in this game, especially at the end. They're gonna look for some crosses. They're gonna look for some corner kicks, and we need to have Araujo, even though he made a mistake in the game against Betis, but we cannot hold him to that mistake. We need to put him out there and do what he does best, which is being a beast, being a size, just like he did against Atletico Madrid. And it's a little underrated because Araujo didn't have the worst game against Betis. I think he just made that mistake, but the whole game was basically perfect. So like I said, once again, we were lucky not to get scored or get to this ball. He should never be the one who's up for that. We should never allow anyone to have this type of header. So we need Araujo for sure, especially at the end, but not at the beginning. I would put him in like at the 70th minute. So quick things before we wrap up this video is feeding the monster is what Borussia Dortmund loves to do. This is why Girassi has scored 10 goals in the Champions League, because he gets so many chances. He's not the best player, like technical wise. He's not so technical, but he gets goals. He gets the job done because he gets so many opportunities. So we need to try to lock down those wingers and those fullbacks. That would be essentially the game plan that Hansi Flick is going to want to do, especially against a team like Borussia Dortmund. This is not an easy peasy game. This is going to be difficult, but we have it at home and we should be well prepared. But in more than anything, just being concentrated. If you like this video, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you. Please please hit the like button. Please subscribe, and please comment your thoughts. Barcelona, my prediction for this game: Barcelona wins 4-2. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, Visca el Barça.